Good morning children, welcome back to the social session. Children, in the previous class we were trying to understand about the migrations and the settlements. As part of that we have seen the different settlements that take place in the hierarchy of settlements in India, how the population got divided as towns, cities, that is class 1 cities and metropolitan cities, million plus cities and mega cities. And later we also tried to understand about urbanization, the problems of urbanization. And urbanization is a phenomena which leads to the development, and at the same time there are many problems which incur due to the urbanization. And today and we also learnt about Aerotropolis, children. You don't forget to answer about the Aerotropolis. Under the Aerotropolis we have seen certain airports around which the cities have come up, the townships have come up, and we call them as Aerotropolis. The new settlements which got developed around airport are called as Aerotropolis. And under the Aerotropolis we have seen some of the airports like Kempaguda International Airport, Bangalore, Rajiv Gandhi International Airport in Hyderabad, and Indira Gandhi International Airport near Delhi. And internationally also you can find Heathrow International Airport, London, and Suvarnabhumi International Airport, Bangkok, that is Thailand, and even Dubai International Airport, that is UAE, and Cairo International Airport in Egypt. These are the new Aerotropolis which are getting developed, what we have seen in the last class. Today let us move on to migration, children. Migration can be of two types, children: seasonal migration and temporary migrations. So these are seasonal and temporary migrations. If you look at them, according to the national survey, national census survey, according to it, every fourth person in India is a migrant. He has moved from one place to another place. It is during 2001 to 2011, if you see, the migration has increased, but not as much as in 1980s. In 1980s, there was a huge migration than the present migration. And if we have examined the statistics of rural to urban migration, and there are multiple reasons for the migration. However, it is significant to note that rural to rural migration has increased. Rural areas to rural areas migration also has increased. Some of this may be even captured by census data, that because for a period of less than 6 months we migrate, so the number of seasonal migrants is underestimated in India due to the limitations in the definition of the term migrant. Migrant definition जो census दिया था, उसके वजह से बहुत सारे लोग उसके नीचे आ जाते. ये बहुत 6 months अगर आप एक जगह से और एक जगह को migrant हुआ तो okay, if you have left the one place and gone to another new place and staying there for the last 6 months, then automatically you are called as a migrant. But the definition says that above 6 months. So there are many people, many employees who migrate from one place to another place for less than 6 months, and they doesn't come under the migration. So there are many surveys which tell about the rural migration. According to the National Commission of Rural Labor report in 1990, found that there is an uneven development and regional disparity has triggered and accelerated the seasonal migration. This seasonal migration occurs because of various factors, agricultural factors and non-agricultural factors also, and we find even rural to urban migration also takes place. And when it comes to the within the country migration and country to country migration, that is called as international migration. So I discussed with you now seasonal migration. During a particular season they migrate. Temporary migration, only for a particular period they migrate. And now I am talking about international migration. That means when you move from one country to another country, it is called as international migrations. So these international, 1/3 of the entire world's population, that is 200 million international migrants are there. Less than 70 million people, according to the United Nations Development Program, have moved from one developing country to another developing country. International migration from India are of two types. That is people with technical skills and professional expertise. They have migrated to the places like USA, Canada, and European countries, UK, Australia, and other developed countries they have moved. So these include the IT professionals, doctors, and even management professionals. These are the example of this type. But whereas Indians also had migrated to countries such as UK and Canada in 1950s and 1960s were unskilled, whereas in later years mostly only professionals went to these places, and in recent times many professionals are moving to the countries like Germany, Norway, Japan, Malaysia. To these countries also these skilled labor is moving. That means they are migrating. In 1950s about 10,000 persons a year went to the developed countries, and in 1990s it has increased to 60,000 per year. So one such international migration can be two types. One is a skilled labor, the other one is unskilled labor. These skilled labor will move to the countries like USA, UK, okay, and even to Australia, Canada. These are the countries where the skilled labor will move on. And the IT professionals and many other people are now moving to many other places also. And coming to the second type of international migration is unskilled labor, where mostly the semi-skilled workers migrated to the oil exporting countries like Gulf countries, West Asian countries. So on a temporary contract they keep on moving to the Gulf countries like UAE and many other countries, Saudi Arabia and many other countries, Yemen, Oman, and many other countries in the West Asian countries they move. These have been a destination for more than 3 million workers of India. They move to the West Asia. Every year more than 3 lakh workers migrated to West Asia. And you know, nearly 3/5 of workers going to West Asia are from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Only from this region most of the unskilled and semi-skilled people migrated to these Gulf countries, and a considerable section of these workers are engaged in the construction projects there for the maintenance, for the services, and for transport and telecommunication services sector. They work in those areas. So this is about the migration, children. In tomorrow's class we shall learn about the monitoring of the international migration. Thank you, children.